Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I have a very special video for you guys. So today I have a multi-item sorter combined with a bulk and a unstackable sorter, which you can see in the background, right? So this thing is, I designed it for my friend Xavier, who wants to use it on his hardcore world, and it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to finish the concept and design. But I think it is to the point where I can say I can release it. He hasn't built it in his survival world yet. He is getting to that like as we speak, I think. Um, but I can promise you guys that this thing should work as long as you build it correctly. There's only one flaw with it that I've been unable to fix, and I don't think there is a fix for it. But it's not that big, and it doesn't really cause that many problems, so it's fine. So this thing is really powerful. So this thing has a huge bulk storage for the majority, or well, not the majority, but the items that you want to keep in bulk, like all your stone types, dirt, grass, more blocks that you have farms for, wood types, glasses, and all your redstone stuff. Now this item assignment is interchangeable. I do have it set up in the filter so that there's item assignment in pretty much every one of these, but you don't have to keep this item assignment. You can go through and change it if you wish. This is just what Sid needed on his hardcore world. So I thought that it was fitting. We went through and did the item assignment together. But yeah, this is pretty much perfect item assignment for him. And he can add more. There's a lot more space in the back where he can add more. And this storage slice is expandable, which is nice. It also has shulker box, so shulker box gets loaded of the item here. Once the shulker box is full, gets put into these chests and this dispenser. You press the button, dispense the shulker box out, and it works as a shulker box display, which is pretty nice. The shulker boxes getting replenished is actually very exciting. So there is quite a big storage for shulker boxes in storage, and I'll get to that in a minute. But next we have the multi-item storage. This sorts categories of items. So in here, down here, we have all the chests that will store your items. And if we pop up to the front top here, you can see we have the multi-item sorters kind of open so that you can come up and look at them. So in all these, we have different categories of items. Here we have concretes. Here we have redstone, terracotta blocks, stone variants, like nature-ish blocks. That could be probably improved, but you know, wood types, fences, trapdoors, wooden stuff, that type. Lights, light sources, food, any stackable food item, nature, more nature, uh, valuables, and all types of different stuff like coral and rockets. I think we had literally just 3 types of rockets, but you know, whatever. And this thing is pretty lag efficient and runs about like nothing when I'm just sitting in an empty world right now, so it doesn't really cause that much lag. There are a lot of unlocked hoppers here, but that's because it wasn't really optimized for lag. It was more optimized for working correctly. I spent 6 hours this morning working on a new main storage complex design, and hopefully that should be done within a couple of weeks, maybe even sooner. But I've been teasing this video for a while, so I thought I would release it. But yeah, this storage slice actually has like kind of hopper locking, so it will lock most of these hoppers right here when the system is inactive, and the second that the system goes on to be active, which I can simulate with a redstone block, you can see that it pulls up that redstone block and all the hoppers get unlocked. This slice was stolen from the Cycler Blitz server, so there's, you'll see, a couple of discrepancies I need to make when I make the new Litmatic, because this one was a little bit scratched. But basically it has overflow protection, so when this chest here fills up completely, it will stop accepting items up here, which is a really nice feature. There are shulker box distribution lines down here, and there are item lines down here, up here I should say. There are no water streams because I wanted to ensure that this ran at hopper speed, and I didn't want to add in item batching and all that type of stuff. I just added what I thought was necessary and simple. I'm using my dropper tower. I designed this a couple weeks back when I was designing this. Copy right there. It's not that great. It runs at double hopper speed, but no, whatever. And then there's switches here. So we have a switch here to turn on chunk loading that will turn on just this chunk loading line. This can go up to a chunk loader. to load this. And then there's a pause storage feature, which will actually pause the input. I'll show the input in a minute, but yeah, so that's just that. Then here we have overflow. So there's overflow here, so any items that don't get set to the storage just get sent to these chests, and so on and so forth. Stackable sorting, so it's all these different types of bottles and buckets and whatever, and just gets loaded into shulker boxes. It's the same exact system as what was in the bulk, with command Leos and stackable sorter. The only thing that's different about this one is that I modified it so that it doesn't have the armor stand thing. So basically anything you put into this, if it doesn't fit into these like I think 7 categories, it'll just get sent to this last slice where armor, pretty much every other stackable will go, which isn't really that big of a problem, but um, yeah. Here is our problem. So when I was testing this, I tested it for about 24 hours, and what I found was that occasionally from the input, which is this hectic thing down here, we would get stackable items into the unstackables. Now, to go against that, I basically replaced, not replaced, I added a hopper, kind of, I don't know how to explain it. This like makes sure that the hoppers flow at 8 game ticks. So there is a little clock here with some fancy redstone stuff, and then there is just input, and this spits out items at every game, 8 game ticks into here. I thought maybe items were coming in too fast or too slow, and it was fucking with the unstackable sorter. But what seemed to fix this problem for the most part is this right here. It just locks this hopper when it's sucking in an unstackable, and that seemed to fix it pretty much. And there's this system up here, which turns on the hopper thing, the I don't know what you call it, and as well as the indicator lights for when it's on and chunk loading. There's just some lines up here that lead to the chunk loading grid. There's a timer here. Everything that needs to have items in it has a sign. I think pretty much everything has a sign for it. But yeah, then there's another portal here, which you could probably change out for something else, and you could expand this on for however long you want. And yeah. So now on to the shulker box storage, which I think is maybe one of the most interesting parts about this. So here we have a indicator light. So light is on means shulkers are full. If it's off, you need to refill shulkers. There will be an annoying sound that sounds very similar to this when the machine is out of shulkers. Now when that happens, it actually triggers a system down here that will pause the storage system. So it sends a signal all the way down here that turns on the pause mechanism. So basically, you can see it here kicking into action because I did that so fast it kind of broke it. But when it is broken, it will retract this block, disengaging the this thing, turning off chunk loading, everything like that, and locking this bottom hopper so no items can go into the storage. But yeah. And here we have a shulker sorter for shulkers and items. Items just get sent down to the input. Shulkers get sent into a hopper speed unloader. Also, another problem we get is the shulker boxes not going into this hopper and going into this hopper. It doesn't really cause a problem, but they just get sent to this unstackable sorter. They're unstackables. They get sent up here. And then to deal with that problem, we have to actually sort the shulker boxes before we actually send the items into this thing because it will really break. A shulker box will appear right here, and it will break pretty much the entire system. So we just sort them out and then spit all the shulker boxes out and to your shulker box storage. So here we have shulker storage for items that you put in. So any items that you can see I ran through the armor crap boxes here a couple times, but there are just a ton of shulker boxes in here that would simulate your real world. You have a ton of shulker boxes. They would just get sent to this thing. So anything you put in the input that is a shulker box will get sent to this chest eventually. The reason we do this, and not to send them to the storage for shulker boxes, is so that we don't get colored boxes into the unstackable sorter in bulk. So if we come with this water elevator, we can see here we have our shulker storage. So these are all filled with shulker boxes. I'm pretty sure all the way up. Yep. And there's a little dropper tower here. This dropper tower is for when you, let's say you come from the end or the nether, and you have a ton of shulker boxes, and you just want to put them into the system and go. All you have to do, pop up here, put them into these 2 chests, leave, chunk loading should kick on eventually, and so on and so on. So you don't have to go through each one of these and tell which one is full and whatever. And there's a system back here that detects when they all turn off and will alarm the clock and so on. And I think I found our problem, which is right here. I'll change this for the Litmatic, but there has to be an observer right there with a block on the end of it, so that doesn't break the system. That's what was happening. That's why it broke. I have to take a new Litmatic anyways, so yep, that'll be in the finished Litmatic. But yeah, so I will leave a world download and a Litmatic in the description. To this thing, it has all of its item assignment done. What Civ is actually doing in his hardcore world is he's going to build up the entire storage and leave out these chests and these hoppers here. And then he's going to go into creative and just paste in the item assignment because that's way less work than going through and pasting it all in, or not pasting it, placing all these items in. That would be hell, and I don't really encourage that. He's doing a really good thing where he has a desert temple on top of this. He found a desert temple located in a really nice spot, and he's going to fly in from the top of the desert temple down into his storage, where he's going to have this gigantic place to fuel his items. There are workstations all around here, so we have a graphic table, I don't know how to pronounce that, stonecutter, we have a jukebox, and all the music discs, we have grindstones, and I forget what those are called. Yep, and the input is right here, so any Shulkerbox's items go in here, and it's going to get sent through. And down here, there is Shulkerbox return for the bulk storage, so all the Shulkerboxes will get sent out here and pushed to the Shulkerbox storage, so basically anything you put into this will get reused. And that's kind of it. There's indicator lights on the ceiling that all turn on at the same time with some what do you call it? Some instant wire. But besides that, that's kind of it. So yeah, I can show this running really quick. So I just take the Hermitcraft boxes here that I preloaded into my hotbar. We can just take. Let's see if I can find a good chest here that has some items in it. Oh boy, these are all kind of. This one's perfect. So this has daylight sensors, unstackable, so we should see some water buckets turning up, and some items that don't get sorted, and some that do. So all we have to do, come here, place that into the storage, and we'll see almost immediately the lights turn on. Sorry, I wasn't looking. And the hoppers unlock over here, and the items begin to trickle down. This clock starts pushing the items down into this through the unstackable sorter, and then to the dropper tower, pushes them up down to this chest, where they then get pushed across all of these hoppers, sorted into here. Then once that happens, they'll get sent to this dropper tower, sent up into a chest, into this, and then sorted. And then if they don't fit, get sent to the overflow, and yeah. So we can wait to see the items come through. I might speed up the game a little bit here. Let's do 60. Let's do 3 times the speed. There we go. See items pop up in this chest pretty fast. Get taken out. Get sent into the storage. These are going to be getting sorted into, I believe, this chest. Yep. And we should see that all the scaffolding comes into here, which it does. Perfect. And now the next item we're sorting is slabs. Slabs end up in this chest here. It take a minute for the sort of reach all the way across. Looks like it. Yep, there we go. And there are your slabs. This thing only runs at hopper speed, so it's not, the fastest thing in the world. But jungle slabs, all the slabs are going through the system now. Basically, the way this thing works is it checks to see if it can take an item out of this with a filter, and if it can, then it will continuously push that item down into the chests, and there's a small break in between where it resets, and then it just checks to see that with every slice. It's pretty complicated, and there's a lot of stuff that you need to do to get this to work. You need 7 unstackables in this barrel. Here you need 10 unstackable items in this barrel. Here you need Signal Strength 5 coming out, as you can see there. And here there's a barrel that you need 2 unstackables. And then all the way here at the back, there's a thing that you need to have single strength 5, and that barrel already has 10, which is marked on the other side already. And then over here there is this, which I think I already marked over there, single strength 5. And there I go, it already finished, but it's taking a while because this clock here sends all these items through this clock before the chunk loading actually turns off, so that you're safe to turn off. And we should see actually a pillager head, I believe, in this chest, 2 of them. Yep. And that was exactly what we put into the chest last time. So I will have to go through all these chests and remove all the items that were in here, but it's not that big of a problem. And yeah, you can see snowballs. Boom. 16 stackables working here. Trapdoors. Go. No lights. No food. A little bit of nature. Yeah, you kind of gotta sort through all these after you run it if you're doing this creative and want to take another Litmatic, which gets really annoying, but what are you gonna do? So there's signs here for everything. You don't have to have the signs. You can have just item frames, but I like the signs too because they can read. You can read them, and they're just there for help. And that's it. That's all the items that we sorted. That looks like all of them that were in the shulker box. And yeah. So if you have any questions about this or you have any problems, let me know. This is just, again, a prototype. It is going to be built. It has been tested. It should work in theory. But if it doesn't, then please let me know. Here we also have the water buckets that came through. I forgot to show those. I don't know if there's anything else. Nope. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can pause the storage anytime. You can turn on chunk loading anytime. Inputting items is really nice, and there's good indication for Shulker Storage, and the shulker that we put in there is here now. Well, I forgot to show that. I'm going to show this with shaders really quick because it looks really clean with shaders. And with the outside, yeah, you can see there. Crazy stuff. This place is really pretty. Definitely one of the better builds that I've made. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the description or comment section. My bad. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Next time will be a main storage complex, which I'm going to work very hard on for the next 2 days. That is now, as I'm speaking, Friday. It's snow day today, so I've been working pretty hard on the main storage. But yeah, once that's finished, I will post a video on it. I'm going to have to test it and do item assignment as well, which is going to be pain, but shouldn't be that bad. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.